Now guys, I'm so sorry, I had to restart. So let's see if anybody hops on. Giving it a few seconds here. So I am baking a strawberry cake. My son requested it, so I said why not. I made dinner, we ate earlier. My daughter came over, JJ's mom. She came over. Hola, ahora sí. Now let's see if we can get this started. So my daughter Brianna came over after work. My oldest daughter Destiny picked her up, and we all had dinner together. So it was nice family time. You guys know how kids are, joking around and all the things. So my daughter went to go take Brianna home with her boyfriend, so she'll be back in a little bit, but it's just me and the hubby and Jaden here at home. And Jaden wanted strawberry cake, so I am baking this cake, the Pillsbury strawberry. I highly recommend this cake. If you guys have not tried it, it's really good. I bake it in this kind of pan, in like the bundt cake pan, and I put cream cheese frosting on it, and it comes out really good. I did that the other day, and he had some and liked it, so that's what I'm gonna do again tonight. And of course my hand mixer is not charged because I have one from Temu, and it charges with like the little, ¿cómo se llama? The USB type of cable, and I don't have time for that right now. It's not charged, so a mano hay que hacer la cosa, a mano. So yeah guys, it's Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, and I feel like this week is dragging badly, like work wise. It's been such an icky week, and I had such a bad experience today at work with a patient, and I am just so fed up with people, you know, like me sacan de quicio, pretty much, like us Cubans say, de quicio me sacan. So let's see if more people hop on. If you're on here, say hello. I'm new to this whole YouTube live thing. I used to do a lot of live videos on Facebook, but on YouTube I'm pretty new to it, so I don't know if it's accurate when it shows the amount of people that are viewing, or I can see that the comments are working, because I see that Monroe 53 said hola Jennifer, and I said hola back. But I want to tell you guys the story of what happened to me with this patient today, pero I don't want to have to repeat it a couple of times, so that's why I'm kind of waiting to see if we get more people watching. So if you are here, please say hello so that I know that you're watching. That way I don't have to keep repeating the story, you know what I mean? Because it's a little bit of chisme, a little bit of gossip, if you will. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I work for an insurance company, right? A health insurance company. And we basically are kind of like customer service, you could say, for a group of doctors in New York. And what my specific department does is we get requests from patients, sometimes other doctors, and pharmacies. Pretty much it's mostly patients and pharmacies. We receive requests, like verbal requests over the phone for refills on medications, pre-authorizations for medications, the status of a pre-authorization, and things like that. So basically, all day long, I get phone calls from patients saying, my name is so-and-so, this is my birthday, this is my doctor, this is the medication that I need it sent to this pharmacy, and what else? And okay, so medication name, milligrams, pharmacy, right? Those are the details that we have to have from the patients so that we can send the request to the doctor. The best way that I can describe to you my process is HIPAA verified, which is patient's name, date of birth, and patient's name and date of birth, as long as it's the patient on the phone. That's how you HIPAA verify someone if you don't know. Then when you get that information, hold on guys, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a little spoon here. When you get that information, you basically, it's kind of like, let's say Amazon. Like if you were shopping on Amazon, you look for the medication, you ask them, okay, what's the name of the doctor that prescribes this for you? What is the name of the medication and what are the milligrams that you take? If it is the patient on the phone and they do not remember the milligrams, we simply ask, okay, do you want the doctor to send you a repeat of the last prescription that he sent for you for this medication? These are the milligrams that I see. You can only do that if it's the patient that's on the phone. If it's not the patient, then you have to send kind of like an email to the doctor saying so-and-so is requesting medication for this patient. They do not recall the milligrams, or maybe sometimes the medication name, they say that it's for blood pressure, let's just say. And then we just send that email instead of doing the Amazon shopping cart request. I have to like kind of compare everything to shopping, guys. So when it is the patient, like I said, we add the medication to the cart. We make sure that the pharmacy, like your shipping address, is correct. And if it is correct, then you just put the doctor's name, kind of like your credit card information, and you route the message to the doctor. Now, when the doctor receives that message, the doctor then, makes sure that that is the medication that the patient is on. They kind of put in their license number, and then that gets sent over to the pharmacy to be refilled. And that is exactly how the process works. We tell the patients, please allow 24 to 48 hours for your pharmacy to receive your prescription. If they have not received it within 48 hours, please do call us back and we will verify and check with the doctor to see what is holding up the prescription. My dogs think that the door is being knocked on, but it's me with this. They're silly. Hey, stop! It's okay. So then, the lady that I had today, now that you guys know my process, okay? Lady calls. Right off the bat, you can tell that she's frustrated. She's mad at life. She's upset. She's huffing and puffing as she's telling me her name and what she needs. So I just I treat her just like I treat everybody. Thank you for calling. My name is Jennifer. How can I help you? Okay, that's what you need help with. It's fine. I can help you with that. Can I please have your name and date of birth? Gives it to me. She tells me that she has a change of pharmacy. She is now using a mail order pharmacy, and it is different than the one that the doctors have been previously sending her medications to. So I say, okay, no problem at all. I see here that on your chart, it does show me that the correct mail order pharmacy is listed. So you're good to go in that aspect. Now, if you see, so we manage it for a group of different doctors, right? So I tell her, if you have more than one doctor that is at this facility that we do the refills for, I will need the name of each medication, each doctor's name, and the milligrams for each medication. Huffing and puffing. My attitude has not changed one bit. I've been doing customer service, guys, for over 20 years. It's really all I know, So I already know to not let these kind of people get to me, when they do little things like that. Now, let me add, before I continue the story, that we have been extremely bombarded with phone calls and requests ever since the new year started. Why? Because a lot of people's insurances have changed. They changed mail order pharmacies. They changed so many different things. Hold on, I gotta see how long I have to put this in for. Jaden! Put the timer on your phone for 39 minutes. Okay? All right, sorry guys. So when so now that you guys know that we've been swamped and we've been that busy, you don't even get a minute in between calls to kind of compose yourself from someone that's being nasty, rude. You automatically get another call right away because we're that busy. We get a 14-second wrap up time between calls. So with that being said, let me bring you guys over here. With that being said, she, like I said, she's upset. Okay. She then tells me, well, I got a text message from CVS, and mind you, this is not the pharmacy that she's requesting that we use, letting me know that I can pick up a prescription for the medication that starts with the letters, what does she say? AML. Now, let me tell you guys, or keep in mind that I am not clinical. No one in my department is clinical. We are not allowed to guess any name of medication, any condition. Like if someone tells you it's my blood pressure medication and you know that what medication on their chart is for blood pressure, you're not allowed to guess. They have to give you the name. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, okay? So with that being said, she tells me ALM, or AML. So she tells me, I think she said it's for cholesterol or blood pressure. I forget what she says. So I know, because I'm looking at her medications, I know kind of what medication it is that she's probably referring to, because it is the only one that is listed that starts with those 3 letters. But again, I cannot guess. So I tell her, ma'am, I am so sorry. Unfortunately, now I can't guess the name of the medication, even if you're just giving me 3 letters. I need the full name with the milligrams. However, if you do not know the name of the medication, I can definitely send a message out to your doctor, have him verify with the information that you are giving me, and then have him send the prescription after he verifies. She doesn't want to hear that though. She's upset. And she's again huffing and puffing because she wants her request done right now, and she wants everything sent to the doctor now, and she does not want to wait, and she does not want to call back from the doctor. Like, she doesn't want anything. She just wants it done now and sent to the pharmacy. So I tell her, okay, so let me know how you would like to proceed. I'm here to help you, not to make things more difficult, but I have to follow the rules and my workflow, and I have to abide by the HIPAA law. So she then says, oh my God, it's amlodipine. So I say, okay, what are the milligrams? She tells me. Again, she's huffing and puffing, no problem. I add it to my cart. Again, remember, I'm just using the analogy of Amazon. So I add it to my Amazon cart. So then I tell her, okay, what's the name of the next medication that you need from Dr. Smith? Let's just say. I'm making up names, by the way. I'm not giving out any information. So I say, okay, what's the next medication that you need? Is it from Dr. Smith? I don't know what doctor prescribes me this medication. You could request it from whatever doctor you feel like requesting it from. Okay, ma'am, not a problem. I can definitely verify on your chart and see which was the last doctor that prescribed it. I don't care what last doctor prescribed it. I just want you to send the request. Okay, ma'am, no problem. What is the name of the next medication that you need? FLU. So I go, FLU? She goes, yes. And I go, okay, I'm sorry, but I don't have anything on your chart listed under the name FLU. I told you these are text messages that I am getting from CVS. Okay, I need the name. Once again, I need the name of the medication. It's a nasal spray. Okay, so I see that you use Flonase. However, what you're giving me seems to kind of sound like the generic name for Flonase. Do you take the generic for Flonase? Because that I can ask. Since she said nasal spray and she said the first 3 letters of the medication, and she kind of was trying to pronounce it. And she said to me, yes. And I said, okay, no problem. Boom, added to cart. Mind you, we went through this process for about 15 medications, if I'm not mistaken. And they were all for different doctors. So I had to do a request for each doctor because, again, I'm not going to ask, let's say, a cardiologist for medication that a gastrologist prescribes. And I'm not going to ask a gastrologist for medication that a psychiatrist prescribes. So we're going through the request. It takes about like 5 minutes because luckily I've had experience, working in this place for a few months now where I've gotten pretty quick with the request. And then she asks for a steroid pack. And I tell her, well, I don't have an active prescription on your chart for me to send to the doctor so that he can send it to the pharmacy, but I can send him a message and ask him to put in a new prescription for it. So again, she's pissed off. And again, guys, I'm just doing my job and I'm pretty much minding my business, doing my little shopping, adding her medications to her cart. And I'm like, okay, well, do you want me to send the message? Obviously, because I need it. Okay, send the message. The message has been sent. I've put in the request. They've been sent over to your doctor for approval. Once he signs off on the prescriptions, your pharmacy will receive them. They should have it within 24 to 48 hours, depending on how quickly your doctor is able to check his messages. Well, do you know if he's in today? He may be in, ma'am, yes, but I am not exactly sure which location he is at today because we're not allowed to tell them. I'm not exactly sure what location he's at today or to what time he's working. We have a time frame of 24 to 48 hours. That's all I can say. So she tells me, okay, so I go, okay, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for calling such and such place. It's been a pleasure assisting you today. Have a great day. End my call. However, I don't hang up. Because I only have that 14-second wrap-up time, I usually mute the call so that this way, if I'm wrapping up anything or if I'm proofreading what I've written to the doctor, just to make sure that I didn't make a typo, miss any information, I kind of try to skim through it real quick. So sometimes patients kind of stay on the phone thinking that they hung up and they, are having conversations with someone else. And then as soon as I'm done, then I end the call so that I can go into my wrap-up time and proceed to the next patient. So, mind you, I was exhausted already. I had a headache. You guys know I've been with pain in my upper back. I've been talking about it, and I've just been in horrible pain. So, I don't let that affect my job. As I explained, I was being very courteous. I was treating her the same way I treat everyone else. And as I mute the call, I hear her tell someone, or I don't know if she was speaking to herself, I don't understand. Wait, hold on. I got to remember exactly what it was that she said. Hold on. Her exact words, because I don't want to lie. I don't understand why they would have someone like her that does not know how to pronounce the names of the medications and is incompetent. Ay, Dios mío. Guys, if you're Hispanic, I'm going to use a saying. Ahí es cuando se me subieron los apellidos. What that means is, translation, that to me, it made me feel like they mentioned my mother. Okay, like the exact translation of what I said in Spanish is like, that's when my last names kind of came up, but it doesn't make sense in English. That's a saying for like, that's like if they told me to go F myself, or they mentioned my mother, or they said like something really bad. And that's the best way I could describe it. I became infuriated. I think if anyone could see me, or if I could see myself at the moment, my face was probably bright red. Okay, I was pissed. I unmuted myself, guys, and I've never done this before. Okay, I unmuted myself and I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but what did you just say? Please tell me what medication name it was that I could not pronounce. And please explain to me what makes you think and believe that I am incompetent and incapable of my job. Because if anything, I would think that if you're being prescribed medications, that you would know the names of the medications that you're taking, for one. For two, that you would know what you're putting in your body and know, oh, this is my blood pressure medication. Oh, this is my nasal spray. So I don't think that I am the incompetent one here. And again, please tell me what medication it was that I did not pronounce correctly, because I gave you no names. You were the one giving me the names. You were the one giving me 3 letters. You were the one that didn't know what medication it is that you're taking. And honestly, I care so much about your health and your safety that I am making sure that I am doing my job correctly to ensure that you get the correct medications that you need from the doctors that you need it from. Because if I send a request to the incorrect doctor, it's just going to be sitting there and your pharmacy is never going to get the prescription because that doctor can't approve it. So again, please tell me who's the incompetent one. I could not believe that I said that, guys. And let me just tell you, as I was saying this, she was talking and I just kept speaking over her because I wanted her to hear me. I was so tired, me cansé of biting my tongue while I was on the phone with her. This job burns you out mentally. Any customer service job burns you out mentally, especially if I would have been face to face with this person. For one, they would have never said what they said, because let's remember, a lot of people gain their cojones or their balls when they're on the phone with someone, when they think that they've hung up the phone with someone, or when they're on the other side of the keyboard. Because cara cara, face to face, half the people that have ever disrespected me would never in a day try it. They just wouldn't, because again, I am not a disrespectful person. It's not that I am someone to fear. Absolutely not. I can be the friendliest person in the world. But cross me the wrong way. Call me out of my name. Tell me that I'm stupid, or talk bad about one of my kids or my husband, and that's it. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong, like the kids say. That's just something that I do not put up with. I cannot put up with that. That, oh my God, I cannot even begin to tell you guys how annoyed that makes me. So yes, I said those things to her, and I said to her, now I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hung up. I disconnected the call. I didn't let her talk. I didn't let her repeat herself. Papi, 39 minutes? Add the rest of the minutes. Sorry. Because he just texted me that the timer went off, and I'm like, it has not been 39 minutes and my battery is dying, so I can't be on here for too long. I only have 16%. But yeah, so I was like what the heck? Where do you get off talking to someone like that? It was 10 minutes before. How much did you put before? Yes, then 29. Sorry. So yeah, the disrespect is just unnecessary. So I was venting to some of the girls that I work with. There's a group of girls that I got hired with, and we created a support chat on our phones, and we kind of vent to each other, ask each other questions when we're stuck on something and need help. And I was venting to them today and telling them what had happened, and they were like, dude, you did nothing wrong. Because I was like, I'm gonna get fired. If they listen to this call, I'm fired. There's no if, ands, or buts. And my coworkers were like, listen, you stood up for yourself. She called you out of your name. She said you were incompetent. She was insinuating things about you, and that you didn't know what you were doing, and that you didn't know how to do your job, when in reality she was the one that was wrong. So I was like, all right, whatever. And to be honest with you, they don't listen to all of our calls. QA listens to some of the calls, and I always can tell when they're listening to a call, because for one, they do it while you're live on the call. That's what you get scored on. And hey, Crystal, how are you? Hola. I don't know if you just joined or if you didn't hear my little story here, but I had a patient that was extremely disrespectful. She thought she had hung up the phone. She basically called me incompetent and told me and was speaking poorly about me and said that I didn't know how to do my job, all because I couldn't guess due to HIPAA what medications it was that she needed with just 3 letters that she was giving me for the medication name. So, it's like if they need Advil and they tell you ADV. How the heck do you know what medication it is? And we're not allowed to guess because we're not clinical. So that's kind of like the story summed up in like 2 seconds. But yes, guys, it was just like ridiculous. And like I said, I was scared at first. I was like, I'm going to end up losing my job because of this dumb bitch. And, like I couldn't believe that I let someone kind of put me in that zone where like I blacked out and I just saw red. But I was just so at like the end of the stick. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, call after call after call after call, people being rude and mean and nasty. And then you get this person and you're like trying to be nice and you're trying to be helpful and you're thinking that you did something right because, as I closed out the call and I said, thank you so much for calling XYZ. You have a great rest of your day. She said, thank you so much for your help. For her to say, how do they have such an incompetent person working for this company or this department? I forgot what it was that she said, that doesn't even know the names of the medications. That doesn't know how to pronounce the names of the medications. That's what she said. And it was just like, that just blew my casket. I was so pissed. So yeah, what I was saying about QA is that they don't listen to all your calls. They basically listen to some of them because you do have to get scored. Any customer service job that you have or that you get, that you're on the phones, and if any of you ladies or gentlemen have worked for customer service, through the phones, or I think even emails, they may do it through emails too, I'm not sure, but you get scored on it. And at the end of the month, you're supposed to sit down with your supervisor and they're supposed to go over anything that you did wrong. They tell you, okay, you did this wrong, this is the way to correct it, da 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 da. Well, if you didn't know, whenever you hear an echo and you can kind of hear yourself speaking, but very, very low, that is an indication that QA is listening to your call. That's kind of how I know. And I confirmed it because at my old job, that's how I knew. At this job, I asked my supervisor at our last meeting, hey, when I hear that echoing sound, and she was like, oh my God, how did you know? And I was like, yeah, I knew because I've worked for call centers before and I know that that was the protocol. So, since we do work from home, they do just pick random calls to listen to while you're on the phone, and those are the calls that you get scored on. And that's kind of, what helps them kind of know what agent is doing good, what agent is not doing good and needs a coaching or needs more training and things like that. And if you guys have been following me, I believe I shared with you guys that I started with them July, towards the end of July. And obviously there's more people in my department that have been there a lot longer than I have been. And I was chosen along with one of the other girls that was hired with me that I've become close friends with. We were both chosen to help train the last 2 people that they hired. So it's obvious that I've been recognized for doing a good job at my job, and things like this don't always happen. Like, I've had people that are really rude, they're nasty, and they'll say, for example, I had someone not too long ago that was calling in. She had a workers' comp case. She was upset and frustrated because she's in pain. She has horrible pain. She had like 2 hip replacements, so many things that happened to her, and it was an accident at work. So when she goes to get her medications, even if the doctor sends the prescriptions to the pharmacy, if it is not put through a workers' comp portal, workers' comp doesn't pay for the medications, and she has to pay out of pocket. She can't afford to pay out of pocket because she's not working, obviously, because she's dealing with this workers' comp case, and she's in a lot of pain and can't work. So she calls in all pissed off. She had already spoken to someone else within my department. I'm looking at the notes. And she tells me, I'm going to call every 15 minutes until this gets resolved. So you imagine we're busy, and this woman is threatening to call us every 15 minutes around the clock until the doctor's office puts her medications into the workers' comp portal. And she's not going to stop, and she's going to continue to be nasty to everyone. And this is exactly what she said to me. And I said, well, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I completely understand where you're coming from. I would be upset and frustrated too if I were in your shoes. I know what it is like to be in pain. No, you do not know what it's like to be in pain. I have this going on and I have that going on. And I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you cannot tell me that I do not know what it's like to be in pain, because I have a rod and screws in my back and I've been through back surgery. So I 100% know what it's like to be in pain, and I feel for you, and I am going to try my best to get this resolved for you. When I said that, she said, oh, I'm sorry, it's just that I'm really upset. They always do this to me. I go through this every single month. It's always a hassle. Okay, no problem. Let me see what I can do to help you. Guys, no joke. All I had to do, and the other representative before me could have done the same, all I had to do was call what we call the back line, which is the number for the doctor's office. We're not allowed to give this to the patients because they have to go through us for the medications. So I call, I let them know what the situation is. I tell them she's crying, she's in a lot of pain, she's saying she's going to continue to call every 15 minutes. That's all it took. Because then, guess what? They brought it up to basically the manager, the office manager, and the office manager said her doctor's not in today, but because the doctor had already prescribed the medications, she, as the office manager, could put the scripts into the workers' comp portal so that the patient could get her medications. And I was told, just tell Mary Sue that Joni Smith is going to call her right now to get this done for her. When I said this to the patient, she said, oh my God, thank you so much for your help, Jennifer. I am so thankful to you. If anything else happens, can I please call back and ask for you, because you seem to know what you're doing. And I said to her, unfortunately, I cannot get a call transferred over to me, but I can definitely put in a note here as to what we spoke about, what I was told was going to be done, to make sure that if you do have to call us back, the next representative knows that they have to contact the doctor's back line and try to get you over there to them. So she says, okay, perfect. Thank you again so much. Okay. At the end of the day, I went back into that person's chart just to make sure that they took care of her issue, and they did. So again, you have to know how to speak to people and kind of how to bring them from like up here to down here. You know what I mean? But you have to be compassionate, and you have to let them know that they're validated. You value what is the word? I can't think of it right now. Their feelings are validated is what I'm trying to say. You understand where they're coming from. You get why they're upset. You're going to try to help them, and you're going to do everything in your power to help them. That way, if they have to call back and they're pissed off, whenever they get the next person, or if they get you again, they're not going to take it out on you. They're going to know that you did everything within your resources to get them the help that they needed. It didn't work, or the doctor didn't follow through, and that is not your fault. And then they understand that, and now they're talking to you about their frustration towards the doctor's office and them not doing what it is that they need to do. But when you have someone that is ungrateful, like the jerk I had today, that wants to call me incompetent for no reason just because she woke up mad at life today, that's different. That kind of disrespect I can't deal with. And today was the first time that happened to me at this job. At my old job that I had 10 years ago, where we manage incentive programs for different employer groups through insurance companies. I had it was an IBM employee, I will never forget. He called me the C word. And you ladies know that that is a big no no. You do not call anyone that word. I will not repeat it because I hate the word. But he called me that. And I said, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm reporting this call to your employer. You are completely out of line and I am disconnecting this call. And I had every right to do that. And that was like, at that point, I was kind of like at team lead level. So I had more authority, let's say, than a regular customer service rep. So I would get escalation calls sent to me from other representatives that I used to have to handle. And me taking that call and being called that was like a big no-no. We weren't allowed to deal with disrespect at that job. So that's why being in this company, things are completely different because you're dealing with patients. I'm a patient. Some of you guys are patients, right? For your doctors, offices, and some of us are okay. But you have patients that, for example, neurology. Neurology has a lot of patients that are not 100% here. Unfortunately, they've had seizures, they've had strokes, and those people I can 100% be compassionate with. If someone like that called me incompetent, I would have just taken it. But when it's someone that is 100% okay, she's not an elderly like person that she's like in her 90s. This is someone in her early 50s, probably a few years younger than my mom. And, again, like just that ignorance, that is what drives me crazy. And I know that she was kind of like stereotyping me because there are certain words that I say that sometimes come out with like a Hispanic accent because my first language was Spanish, believe it or not. Yes, I was born in this country. My parents are from Cuba, but I was the first grandchild, and I basically was born and was brought into my grandmother's house. Like, that's who always took care of me when I was a baby, when I was a toddler, when I was growing up. So I learned English in kindergarten. So for me, like, sometimes I kind of have to switch the Spanish off and turn the English on and vice versa because I forget. And at that, I also take Hispanic calls or Spanish calls. So when someone that speaks Spanish calls in, sometimes I get stuck trying to think of, oh my God, what's the word in Spanish for prescription? I can't think of it. And sometimes you get stuck because you just got off an English call. Now you got a Spanish one. Now you're jumping back to English, and then you get 3 Spanish ones. You know what I mean? So it's like a back and forth type of thing. And it's hard, guys. When you know how to speak more than one language, it's hard to like turn that on and off, like that switch on and off. But that's it, guys. That's all I had for you tonight. I wanted to come live a little earlier today, but I didn't have the time. If you didn't hear, or if you just joined later, my daughter Brianna was here visiting. She works close to where we live. She was just transferred, so she came over for dinner, and my oldest went to go take her back home. So I am just baking a strawberry cake for Jaden. He requested it. So you guys know, I always haul it. I pick up cakes all the time from the Dollar Tree, the cake mixes and stuff, and they're little frosting tubs. So I'm baking a strawberry cake in a bundt cake mold, and I think it's about to finish because I've been on for about 39 minutes and it's at 38 minutes. My oven is pretty new, so it works pretty fast. So if you don't check on things, sometimes it ends up burning them. But not only that, I only have 11% left of battery life. Oh my God. I have my little oven mitts from last year. These I had gotten from Target's Bullseye section last year. So I have those out right now. Ooh, this looks good, guys. Look, I almost tripped. Mira que rico. These cakes come out so nice when you make them in the bun mold. I love it. I love making them. Hold on. It's gonna fall here. Let me move my phone back. Espérate. Espérate. Okay. Let me just put a little fork in it. Of course, all of my forks are in my sink because I haven't had a chance to do dishes yet. We use plastic plates for dinner, but the utensils are not plastic. So I have to wash a fork. I have more forks in the drawer since I bought a bunch from the Dollar Tree a few weeks ago or a few months ago. I don't even remember at this point, guys. So I do have more forks, but instead of pulling out another one, why not wash the ones I have here? But yeah, guys, if you popped on to watch my little live and my little story time, leave me a comment in the comments so that I know that you watched. If you guys want me to do this more often, like let's say I haven't gone to the Dollar Tree since the weekend, and I hauled, look, I wet myself. I hauled everything already, so I do have to go back, so I don't have a haul to share with you guys. It still needs a little more time. But if you guys want me to do this when I don't have hauls and go live, let me know down below and I can do that. But I only want to do it if some of you guys are going to pop on and talk to me, chismean un poquito, you know, like gossip a little, some girl time. But if you guys don't want me to do that, then I won't. But yeah, guys, I can definitely do these every now and then. Not every night, but you know, every now and then I could do it. And we could hang out and have some girl time and maybe talk about different things every now and then. It's so good. What I do, if you guys don't do this or didn't know about this, because I just learned about this last year, believe it or not, instead of putting water, you know how the cake mix tells you like 1 cup of water, instead of putting water, replace that with milk, and the cake comes out so much more fluffier. So ever since I started doing that, my cakes come out delicioso, like Dora used to say. All right, amigas, I'm at 10%, so nos vemos pronto. Déjame saber en los comentarios si quieren que haga en vivos. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do lives, and I will do them more often. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me and letting me vent about my stupid incident today. I will see you guys again soon. Love you, ladies. Take care. Bye, friends.